Y is a consonant when it's the first letter. And we're going to be learning about that consonant sound Y today. When you make that sound, your lips are stretched wide, your teeth are almost closed, and the back of your tongue is working very minimally toward the back of your throat. It's y, y, y. Make it as minimal and as subtle as possible. Y, y. And then you'll be saying it correctly. Y makes that sound only if it's the first letter of a word or a syllable, and it's actually quite rare. It's a vowel almost always. But today you will encounter some words that begin with Y. Yes, for instance, yellow, yesterday. So there are some words that begin with Y, so it's important to know what the consonant sound is. So that's what we're going to focus on today. So let me share my screen. And we will get going. Okay. All right, so this first word, let's do it together. So here we have consonant Y. Now, here are three, before we actually start, I want to just show you these three different Y sounds. This is consonant Y. This is vowel Y. And this is vowel Y. But these two vowel Ys say two different things. Y at the end of a multisyllable word usually sounds like an E. Y at the end of a one-syllable word always sounds like an I. So here is Y that we just learned today. But when Y is at the end of a longer multisyllable word, it usually sounds like E. And when Y is at the end of a one-syllable word, where Y is the only vowel, then it will sound like an I. And we'll get to this, my favorite word, in a minute. If you already were in my spelling class, you know what it says, so that's okay. All right, so here we have this Y that says Y. This I is going to say I because that's what I's say when there are two consonants after them. It's the same mouth shape. I and Y are the same mouth shape, except for your tongue is doing something for the Y. But your lips are stretched and your teeth are almost closed to the exact same degree as one another. This is the mouth shape for mouth shape for both, but your tongue is doing a little movement for the Y. So Y is Y and I is I. Same mouth shape, just your tongue is working for the Y. So that is the short I sound right here. I. And then Y at the end of a multisyllable word, a longer word, usually says E. So we have Y, I, D, E. Yiddy, yiddy. Try yours over here. I'll be quiet while you work. Lily, I love your comment. Okay, so I says I right here, right? Because there are two consonants after it. Y at the end of a longer word, longer meaning multisyllable, multisyllable meaning more than one vowel that don't touch. When Y is at the end of a longer word, it usually says E. So here we have Y, I, T, E. Now these two T's can say their spitting sound, T, or their stop sound, D. Either one are perfectly fine. This one is going to come out more naturally. This one might come out if you're in Britain. So we have yitty or yiddy. Either one are fine. Yitty or yiddy. Okay, number 2, my favorite word. What do you think this says? Just say it to yourself before I spoil it for you, because it's just fun to discover. So we know that this is going to say y, right? And then this will say I, because that's what Y says when it's at the end of a short word. Short meaning one syllable meaning one vowel. So this says y, this says I, this word is yai, yai. Isn't that fun? So in this word, y is both a consonant and a vowel. That just makes me happy. Okay, let's try your word. I'll be quiet while you work. Okay, so your I is going to say I here because of those two consonants after it. And then Y at the end of a longer word usually says E. And here we have our initial Y that says Y. So Y, I, sht, E. Yishti, yishti. This SH is not easy to pronounce in this word, but you can do it. Yishti. All right. Okay, number 3. Here we have Y. Here we have I. Here we have a ch. I don't like the way I spelled that. It should actually be spelled like this. But we can do both for this class. This TCH. I'll teach you about that in just a second. So here we have Y, I, ch. Yitch. Yitch. Now the reason I spelled it this way, which is the proper spelling, is because TCH is how you spell the ch sound after a short vowel. So that should have been a T in that spot. The T is silent. It's just there because that's how you spell ch after a short vowel. Okay, so your word number 3, go ahead. Put your tongue between your teeth and blow on this TH. No sound, just air. So we have consonant Y says Y. This is a short vowel. I. TH, tongue between our teeth and we blow. So we have Y, if, yith, yith. Now, so far so good? Let me know so far so good. Yes or not really in the chat, because now we have number 4, which looks a little more challenging. So far so good. I just have to read this. We were watching Family Matters the other day. It's a great show. And someone said, to quote the 25th letter of the alphabet, Y. I thought that was funny because we were in Y month. I love it. Okay, so far everybody looks like they are doing good. Some are like, I'm having a little bit of a struggle. Okay, well then I'm going to go nice and slow on number 4. Okay, so here we have, actually let me pull this back up. Okay, here we have consonant Y, Y. This I is going to say I because that's what I's say when there are two consonants after it. This I will also say I for the same reason. I because there are two consonants after it. There's actually 4 consonants after this word. That's rare, but we can do it. We have to make sure that we grab each single one. That's why we're going to pencil read here. And then Y at the end of a longer word usually says E. So now that we know what the vowels are going to say, we've done the hardest part. Now we're going to tell our brain or our subconscious that we know every single sound in that word before we go to blend it. Don't blend it yet, because you want to set yourself up for success and you want to tell your subconscious that you can do this. So we need to tell it that we know every sound in this word. So we have Y, I, sh, I, m, p, t, E. Now let's go one sound at a time here, nice and slow. Y, yish, yishe, yishim, yishimp, yishimpt, yishimpter, yishimptree, yishimptree, yishimptree. Ooh, That P is the hard one. Yeshimptree. Is it not? Oh my goodness. If you hung with me on that one, then that was amazing. That was a hard one. Let's try this one on your own. I believe in you. I believe in you. Give it a shot. Go nice and slow. Grab every single sound from the bottom before you blend it all together. Watch out for this R. It's going to be the hardest letter in that word to read. And the P. Grab onto that P too. Actually, I'm going to break this word up this way while you're trying it on your own. I want you to do that part. And then I want you to do, I'm going to break this up in an unusual way. That will help you. Okay, so this I says I because of those two consonants. Same with this I, two consonants. Y at the end of a longer word usually says E. Our initial Y is our reading hack for the day that you just learned, and now that knowledge is yours to keep. Y at the beginning is the only time it's a consonant, and it says Y. So this first part says Y, if, yith, yith. Sounds like I have a lisp, but it's supposed to. Your tongue goes between your teeth and you blow. Now put yith on the shelf. Start with the R. Imp. Let me do that better. I blended those too quickly. I, m, p, rimp, rimp. Now I can put these two parts together. Yithrimp, yithrimp. Now I'm going to put yithrimp on the shelf. Start with the T. T, E, T. Yithrimpty, yithrimpty. Did you get yithrimpty? Y, yes, or A, almost. Wow. Wow, that's a lot more Y's than I was expecting. Well done. I'm going to say it's about half and half, just in case you're wondering. About half said yes and about half said almost. Wow, you guys, that's amazing. You are doing so well. You are doing so well because that was a hard one. That was a tricky one. Okay, down here on extra practice, which one do you want me to do with you before I set you off on your own? Number 9. I had a feeling we were going to get a number 9 request. Okay, let's mark it together and then you can try it on your own. Here we have an I. Here we have an I. Here we have an I. Here we have an E. Go for it. Okay, I'm going to have to stop you because you might not know if you weren't here in I month, and you need to know this to read this word correctly. When I is in the middle, it says I, even if there's not two M's after it. So this I and this I, both of them are going to say I. Okay, I'll give you a little bit more time. That one's a hard one. All right, how are you doing? So we have I, and E. Y, I, m, p, l, I, m, I, k, E. Y, yim, yimp, yimple, yimple, yimplim, yimplime, yimplimic, yimplimicky, yimplimicky. Let me know if you got yimplimicky. You have to. Y or A? Y? Yes or almost? Look at that. What? Okay, almost all almosts for Yimplimiki. Almost all almosts. Only just a small handful of Y's. Okay, we have a request for number 5. Okay, this I says I. This I says I. Y at the end says I mean. So our sounds are I, O, I, sh, E. Go ahead, try to blend it on your own. Okay, so we would have y, yill, yilly, yillish, yillishy, yillishy. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? Hopefully you're feeling pretty good, especially about your new knowledge of knowing when Y is a vowel and when is a consonant. 99% of the people out there have no idea. But you now know. Y is a consonant only if it's the first letter of a vowel. The first letter of a word or a syllable. But the syllable part is so rare, we usually can just say Y is a consonant if it's not the first letter. And the consonant sound is made by that stretched mouth shape with that very subtle yeah. You now know that, and it's yours to keep forever. And you were also reminded about Y at the end of a longer word says E, Y at the end of a small word says I. You learned that I in the middle says I, and you learned what Y spells. That's a fun dinner trick. So I hope that you found this time valuable and that you have found this investment of your time, your money, your energy, your hopes worth it. All right, my friends, we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.